The video begins with a serene yet challenging backdrop of the mountains. Miss Yang, a determined and resourceful bushcraft enthusiast, embarks on a solo adventure to test her survival skills in the wilderness. Her mission? To build a functional shelter using only natural materials while braving the elements. The heavy rain adds an extra layer of difficulty, making the task both thrilling and inspiring. Miss Yang arrives at the foot of the mountain, her backpack filled with essential tools like a hatchet, a knife, and some basic supplies. The weather is already gloomy, with dark clouds gathering in the sky. Undeterred, she begins scouting for the perfect location to set up her camp. After a short hike, she finds a slightly elevated spot surrounded by sturdy trees, an ideal location to stay safe from flooding. Miss Yang outlines her plan. She will construct a shelter using fallen wood, sturdy branches, and flat stones. The first step is to gather materials. She carefully selects thick branches for the frame, ensuring they are strong enough to withstand the rain and wind. She also collects large leaves and ferns to use as insulation and roofing material. Her next task is gathering stones from a nearby stream. The water is cold and swift, but Miss Yang's determination keeps her focused. These stones will be used to reinforce the walls of her shelter and create a small fireplace. The construction process begins with Miss Yang crafting a simple A-frame structure. Using her hatchet, she trims the branches to the right size and secures them together with natural vines she finds in the forest. Despite the rain beginning to fall, she works steadily, her movements precise and efficient. create a waterproof roof, Miss Young layers large leaves over the frame, overlapping them like shingles. She adds ferns and smaller leaves to fill any gaps, ensuring her shelter will keep her dry through the night. Finally, she lines the interior with a layer of dry grass for comfort and additional insulation. As the rain intensifies, Miss Young faces several obstacles. The ground becomes slippery, making it harder to transport materials. Her tools occasionally slip in her hands due to the wet conditions. Despite these difficulties, she remains calm and resourceful, using a piece of cloth to improve her grip on the tools. The rain also tests the durability of her shelter. Miss Young takes the time to reinforce the structure, adding extra branches and leaves to make it sturdier. Her hard work pays off as the shelter proves to be both stable and waterproof. With her shelter complete, Miss Young turns her attention to finding food. Armed with a small basket, she explores the surrounding forest in search of edible plants. She identifies wild mushrooms, some leafy greens, and a few roots. To ensure safety, she carefully examines each item, avoiding anything that could be toxic. Miss Young also finds a small patch of wild berries, which she gathers for dessert. Her knowledge of foraging is impressive, showcasing the importance of understanding the environment when practicing bushcraft. Back at her shelter, Miss Young begins preparing her meal. Using her hatchet, she carves a cooking stick and sets up a small fireplace with the stones she collected earlier. Despite the rain, She manages to start a fire by using dry kindling stored in her waterproof bag. She roasts the mushrooms and roots over the open flame, seasoning them with a pinch of salt she brought along. The aroma of the freshly cooked food fills the air, creating a comforting atmosphere amidst the rain. The wild berries serve as a sweet and satisfying end to her meal. As night falls, Miss Young settles into her shelter. The sound of rain tapping against the leaves above creates a soothing ambience. She reflects on the day's challenges and accomplishments, feeling a sense of pride in her ability to adapt and thrive in the wilderness. Wrapped in her sleeping bag, Miss Young stays warm and dry inside her well-built shelter. The fire outside continues to burn softly, providing both warmth and a sense of security. The next morning, the rain has subsided, leaving the forest refreshed and vibrant. Miss Young steps out of her shelter to admire the scenery. The experience has been both physically demanding and spiritually rewarding. She takes a moment to express her gratitude for nature's resources before packing up her belongings and leaving the site as she found it. The video concludes with Miss Young sharing a few words of encouragement for viewers. She emphasizes the importance of preparation, resourcefulness, and respect for nature when practicing bushcraft. Her solo camping adventure serves as a reminder that with determination and the right skills, it's possible to overcome even the toughest challenges.